me a ride tip, family. Let me know if you can or cannot see it.
Peace is Free Soul, here to give y'all this live and studio version of my new single, Uncle Jasaneb, featuring Lava. Let's get it. Yeah. Yeah. Uncle Jasaneb, Uncle Jasaneb. And every death and rebirth is a cycle, eternal life. Yeah. And even in my darkest of days, I'm abundant in love and light. Uja Sene. Life, prosperity, health. What I see when I look at myself. My energy flow into currency. I am the bag, time to manifest wealth. Universal glow, free soul. Showered in love everywhere that I go. Knee deep in the dirt on rainy nights, watering and see the life so the trees them grow. Fruit for the labor. We mesmerize the world with this flavor. And we don't care about no haters. Look, shining too bright, you can't shade us. And that's a rule, then return them. Bye bye Babylon, we gon' burn them. That's a rule, then return them. Bye bye Babylon, we gon' burn them. Yeah, look. And every death and rebirth is a cycle, eternal life. Look, and even in my darkest of days, I'm abundant in love and light. Yeah. Uja Sene. Uja Sene. Uja Sene.
Let the womb talk, yeah. I am the sun, moon, and the stars, yeah. I bring the life through the darkness, yeah. We done seen enough strife, time to run it up, yeah. Let me take this moment to honor the fallen. They rise through dimensions, and we strong with their presence. What they didn't heal, we gon' clean it up. And what they didn't feel, we gon' live it up. And what they didn't see, we paint the picture. Rainbow body, the full spectrum. Breathing in this cosmic wisdom, releasing what don't serve me no
Baba Jeff, would you please, before we begin, would you please tell, because people were asking, who is that? Let us know who that is so they can get
It's
that.
Free Soul and Lava. That's FR33SOL and Lava, LAYVA. You can go to YouTube and you can type in Uncle John Seneb.
Bill just put it in the chat. I tell you, Bill is the fastest chatter in the West.
I
guess in the East. Yeah, he just put it in there. All right.
Yes, Uncle John.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, sorry.
All right. Welcome, family, on this beautiful 26th day of the month of June. We are are beginning our summer season. I hope many of you enjoyed the service at Minister Imhotep's yesterday. I was not there with you in person, but was with you in spirit. And I just want to welcome everyone. I'm so pleased that you all woke up this morning, that you all decided that you wanted to spend some of your day here with us. And I'm just always pleased to see each and every shade of brown amongst your faces. So we will start this off with a reading from the Book of Prayers and Sacred Praises. Number 1, and Amenophel and his wife Hathor said, "Blessed is one who sits in the hands of Amun-Ra, for it is he who directs the timid, who rescues the humble and the needy, who gives the breath of life to the one whom he loves and grants him or her a long life in the west of Thebes. Oh my God, Lord of lords, Amun-Ra, Lord of Karnak, give me your hand and save me. Shine upon me and sustain me. You are the only God, and there is none like you. You are Ra, who rises in the heavens, the God who created men and women. It is you who hears the prayers of one who calls on him, who saves a man and woman from the hands of the violent, and who makes the Nile rise and flow for those who are in him. Ra is the perfect guide for everyone. When he raises men and women live and their hearts are lifted up, and when they see the one who gives the breath of life to those who are in the egg, who make people and birds to live, who supplies even food for mice in their holes, as well as for worms and fleas. May he grant us an honorable burial after an old age, so that we may be safe in his hands." And that is our reading for today. So with that, I would like to ask my brother Molly Latham to join us and share libation. Next, we will have our affirmation. Would Baba Tai and Mama Akanke please join us to share the affirmation?
We will know God's truth to be free and self-determined.
Creator, help us to remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors, and to honor the struggles of our elders.
Let us strive to bring new vision and life to our people. Let there be peace and harmony among us.
Let us be loving, sharing, and creative. Let us work, study, and listen so we may learn, teach, and cultivate self-reliance.
Grant us power, O Holy One, as we struggle to resurrect our hearts and our homeland.
We will raise our children according to the needs of our nation, with discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will strive to be the living models of the new direction of our people.
We are an African people.
We are children of God.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Thank you, Mama Akanke. Thank you, Baba Tai, for that affirmation. Baba Damu is now going to bless us with some of that incredible creativity and music that lives inside of him. Brother Damu?
Actually, we're going to have a song that Damu requested. He's not playing. It's a song that he requested. Brother Bill?
It's a wonderful thing when somebody that teaches reading can read. That is what it says. All right. The words of Nina Simone, as requested by Baba Damu. All right, now let me get my reading a little bit better than last time. So next up is Baba Damu will be giving us the historical tribute live and in color. Correct, Baba Damu? You're muted, brother. Baba Damu, you are muted.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mama Darnisha. Good morning, Darnisha. Unc Ujas Neb Wose. God bless everyone. It's always just such a delight and a blessing to be asked to contribute to Wose's service. It's so healing. It's such a wonderful thing that we are doing here. God blesses. God bless this service today. And please pray with me as I attempt to get through this historical tribute. I'm dealing with my vision decreasing rapidly every day. So what I want to do is read a poem about the lady who was just spoken about in the number that I requested by Sister Nina Simone. I think everybody recognized that was Nina Simone, the great priestess of soul is what they call her. And she was singing a song called For Women. And at the end, she mentioned the last woman who said, quoting Nina, "I will kill the first mother I see, so don't mess with me." And she was given the name Peaches, and that is the subject of the presentation today of the tribute, which is given to an ancestor who we feel have not only measured up, but have done great things, who have followed the rules of Ma'at, who have sacrificed, who have done God's will, and who can now rest in peace with our ancestors and with the Creator. And one such lady that I was blessed to know in my lifetime was also given the sobriquet or the nickname Peaches. Her birth name was Renee Moore. I don't know if anyone, Renee was a member of the Los Angeles chapter of the Black Panther Party. I don't know if anyone here knew her, but Renee was the first cousin of Geronimo Pratt. I'm sure that several people here in the congregation to know who that is. Renee was a very determined soul. She was a great singer. And that's how she got her nickname. She got her nickname because I did performances with her. I met her after she had gone through quite a lot of trials and tribulations as a member of the Black Panther Party. But when I met her, we began to do fundraisers for the Black Panther Party because Renee was a great singer. I often, characterizing Renee's singing, I often compared it to the sound you hear when you hear a village of African people singing, the whole village. So in that sense, she rivaled Nina Simone. She was a great singer, and it was always a blessing and inspiring to me to be associated with Sister Peaches and to do these fundraisers with her. Sister Peaches, as I said, was a Black Panther, and that's why this tribute is being made to her today, because I placed the Black Panther Party and the Black Panther Party members and their movement at the very top of our struggles in this community. What tremendous courage, what tremendous sacrifice by people. And oftentimes they're overlooked. So I'm dedicating this historical tribute to the Black Panthers and to all of those who have given their lives in the struggle. Little Bobby Hutton, the first Black Panther to be killed. Fred Hampton, the courageous captain and leader of the Chicago Panther Party, who was known for sending people through a call and response of, I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. Very timely, because that's what we all need to be thinking today. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. Sister Peaches was a revolutionary. She was a revolutionary. She was afflicted with sickle cell anemia. When I met her, it was starting to have a real impact on her life. But before we get into that, I would like to just acquaint you with one of the most heroic actions that our Sister Peaches is known for. Unfortunately, not enough people know this about Sister Peaches. Sometimes the people with the low profile don't get mentioned. So she's an unsung hero, I would say, in our struggle for liberation and freedom in America. So at this time, I would like Bobby Jeff to do the newsreels that Baba Tahimba prepared for us. He's just always on the case. He suggested the everything pretty much about how this historical tribute is going. So and you know, everybody knows about how the Black Panther Party was decimated, was brutally attacked without any there was outcry from all communities. There was outcry from all communities, even from the white community. As a matter of fact, in their campaign to eliminate the Black Panthers, some of the white members of some of the white organizations volunteered to sleep in Panther headquarters so that more Black Panthers would not be murdered indiscriminately by police raids, which was happening one after other, people being killed. And the subject that I want to talk about in terms of Sister Peaches was involved in such an incident. Sister Peaches was involved in such an incident. She was in the shootout between the Black Panthers. Well, they call it a shootout. Let me not parrot the media's lies, because Sister Peaches told me she don't remember them firing nary a shot at the police and the CIA, who surrounded the LA Black Panther headquarters, and just unloaded a fuselage of volley of great firearms at this building where the Black Panthers had their headquarters. And they set the house on fire. Deliberately, I don't know, but the house was set on fire, and they tear gassed them. And so Sister Peaches and some of her comrades was faced with the choice of coming out with their hands up when the police continued firing and wasn't listening to them, or taking their chances with the fire and the smoke that was getting worse and worse and worse. where they were situated. So the Black Panthers, as Sister Peaches relates the story to me, the Panthers who was in the building with her said plainly, frankly, I'm not going out there because they were remembering what had happened to little Bobby Hutton. He was the brother I mentioned earlier in this tribute. He was the first Black Panther to die in the Black Panthers movement and struggle to unite Black people and to unite all people. Little Bobby Hutton, just a little history, was killed about maybe 6 months less before this incident happened with Sister Peaches. Little Bobby Hutton and Eldridge Cleaver were in a building. I'm starting to get, is something going on? I'm starting to hear noise. Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
I think it's been muted.
We're here. We can hear you.
Okay, can I continue? Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, so the Black Panthers hold up in the and I like to use that term, hold up. The Black Panthers defending their humanity and their righteous bid for freedom in their headquarters had to make a decision whether to go out or to take their chances with the fire and the smoke that was enveloping the building they were in. And the brothers who was in that building with Sister Peaches said, frankly, I'm not going out there and taking a chance with those people shooting me down the way they shot little Bobby Hutton down, because they was remembering when the same thing had happened with little Bobby Hutton and Eldridge Cleaver. Little Bobby Hutton had gone out, taken out practically all his clothes, gone out with his hands high up in the air, and they shot him dead in cold blood anyway. So the brother said, I'm not going out. So that was when Sister Peaches went into action. She said, as afraid as she was, and she said she was very afraid, she decided that somebody was going to have to go out and take a chance, that the creator, that God, that benevolent force in the universe, that something would save them. So she went out of the building with her hands held high. And I don't know if Barbara Bill is showing the clip now, but if you're not, you can show that clip.
We're not seeing the clip.
They're not seeing it?
We're not seeing the video.
Oh, okay. They're
Can
not
you play it
seeing
again, whoever that was?
Okay.
Thanks, Bill.
Are they seeing it now?
It's on now.
Okay. As you can see, you can hear the shots. Like a war zone. This country's always been a war zone. After all, they dropped bombs on the people in Philadelphia. And this is Sister Peaches, a fiery advocate for the rights of Black people. My friend, Sister Peaches. Samaya Hakeem, that was her name. She converted to Islam not right after this incident happened. It was sometime, I think maybe after this incident happened. She converted to Islam after I met her. And she changed her name to Samaya Hakeem. And so that leads me to the poem that I wrote for Sister Samaya, because I loved her so, and because she was the epitome, she was the personification of courage, of integrity, of ma'at, of love for our people and love for humanity. I miss her terribly. She was mistreated after this incident, like all Black Panthers at that time were hounded by the CIA and the FBI and local government and local policemen to either put them in jail or kill them, but to squash or bid for freedom and liberty in this country. And Sister Peaches was no different. Even though she had sickle cell anemia, they pursued her legally until they finally convinced someone to convict her of something. And they sent her to prison, in spite of the fact that at that time she was almost deathly ill with sickle cell anemia. She survived it. She did survive it. She got out, but she died shortly after that. I was given that information by a mutual friend of ours, yeah. So I can't say enough about Sister Peaches. It's people like that that we have to remember. Courage, bravery, consciousness, and love for our people. All of those character traits, when they come out in one person, that's what we need. We need millions, thousands of people marching forward like that to say, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we're free at last. So I'm going to read this poem now that I wrote for Sister Samaya. Pray with me, because I'm going to have to use a magnifying glass because my eyesight has dwindled very much so. And I might falter in getting through this. But this is a song, this is a poem I wrote for Sister Samaya Hakeem, AKA Renee Moore, AKA Peaches. And in the poem, I am personifying Samaya as the wind. Samaya is a personification of the wind. I'm speaking of her as being like the wind. And then I'm speaking of her being like the wind of change, which the Panthers were, which Malcolm X was, a wind of change. It takes people willing to give up their lives to create change. And so I'm speaking of Sister Samaya as the wind of change and as the personification of the wind. And then I speak about the wind, the wind itself, investing her with power. This is, I'm sorry that I'm fumbling here, but I'm emotional too. I don't know if you did, but this song, this poem was called, is called Song of Samaya. Samaya, east wind rising from the shore of Africa, unmasked the angry face of God. Samaya, raging terribly across the sea, whipping the placid waters of our tragic maiden voyage, to wake the sleeping spirits of our long forgotten dead. Sing, O immortal voices of despair. Hear, O Black nation lost. Hear their ceaseless wailing, the sad songs of our fathers. The voice of Samaya, east wind from Africa, calling us home to freedom. Sing, Samaya. Samaya, wind of change. sweeping over this vicious, wicked land. Hearken to her. Listen closely. Feel her mighty righteous beat. In the center of the storm, in the wake of life's defeats, fight on, she roared across the ocean to the slaves all bound in chains. Fight on, she roars in spite of pain, till victory is gained. Sing, oh, sing, Samaya. Ancient spirit of our fathers has touched the hearts and minds of many. Will you lend an ear to hear her songs of freedom? Solemnly they ring in the air, crying out for justice. Powerful, a prayer. A champion of justice. Sister Peaches was her name. Frail and weak, she fights for justice, resolutely, just the same. Samaya, whistling through the trees, looked down on Peaches fair, decided she would give her voice to one so brave and rare. So she breathed her immortal song of love into our Peaches' soul. And she became Samaya, martyr, and now her story's told. Now, when Peaches sings those freedom songs that lifts our hopes so high, Samaya sings in powerful voice that rises to the sky. And Samaya blowing in the heavens, here's Samaya down below, descends and lifts her voice to sing of victory, I know. Sing, sing, Samaya. Pray for guidance in your songs. Pray for victory to come. Pray for justice. Pray for peace. Pray that God's will be done. Pray, Samaya. That is dedicated to my good friend, Peaches, Sister Samaya Hakeem.
Beautiful. Well done.
Ashe, ashe.
And
Beautiful
wow.
tribute.
Ashe, Daddy.
wow. What an honor to have known such a person, and
Yes.
for her to have known you, and to have a friend like you who would later on be able to honor her in such a way. What a blessing.
Yes.
Yes, a blessing indeed. My Creator has a disposition for being that way in my life. I thank God for Sister Peaches being in my life. I thank God for Jose Community Church, and I would just like to welcome my daughter, Maisha, who I heard her voice in the congregation. My oldest daughter, Maisha, is in the art experience today. Thank you coming, Maisha, and
Of course.
God bless you. My daughter is the crown and glory of my life. Just such a beautiful person, such a dedicated daughter, a dedicated mother. Let me know that I was doing something right. I was doing something right. Yeah. So
Thank you, Daddy. Love you.
I love you, sweetheart. Love you. So now I would like to end this tribute with a song that Sister Peaches never did, but I can certainly hear her doing it. But this song is also sang by Nina Simone, and I will have to find my way first on the piano because, as I said, my sight is starting to play tricks on me. So pray with me as I get through this song. This song is called "I Wish I Knew How It Felt to Be Free." I would that I knew how it felt to be free. I would I could break all these chains holding me. I would I could say all the things that I should say them loud, say them clear. So the road wide here, I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bars that take us apart. I wish I could know you could how it felt to be me. Then you'd see and agree how it feels to be free. I would that I could be like a bird up in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found I could fly. I would, I'd soar to the sun and look down on the sea that I'd see, cause I know what it feels to be free. Then I'd see, cause I know how it feels to be free. Then I'd see, cause I know how it feels to be free. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ashe.
Right. Thank you, Baba.
Ashe.
You always bless us. I feel like this was a kind of extra special, the way you were able to weave all that together. So thank you.
That was Baba Tai.
Ex-
Yeah, Baba Tai. Baba Tai came up with the you know the way I presented it.
I appreciate Baba Tai, and we thank him for his contribution. But my primary accolades go to you, brother, for
Well, thank you.
for the music,
As they should.
for the
To
voice,
Amen
they
Ra,
should.
to
for the
God,
voice that I
all
heard.
All praises to God.
I'm going
As
to
they
keep on
should.
honoring you, Baba, whether you want to take it or not. I'm just going to keep on telling you
And
you
I honor
are
you too, sister.
incredible. You're
And I honor you
incredible.
too, sister. I honor you too. So that's such a lovely thing.
All right. So now we are ready to take care of some housekeeping. We are going to have our litany of sacrifice, which is going to be brought to us this beautiful morning by Mama Ngina and Baba Ustadi.
And good morning again, everyone. Wonderful service. So from the Hosea, page 47, stanza in the middle, it says, be generous as long as you live. What goes into the storehouse should come out, for bread is made to be shared. Those whose bellies are empty turn into accusers, and those who are deprived become opponents. See that none such as these are your neighbors. Generosity is a memorial for those who show it long after they have departed. So this is a time to give back and share for, again, the blessings that have been given to you. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call on the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly, O Most High, we bring our sacrifices to you. We praise your name, O Amun Ra, for it is good. And the place where you can send your tithes has been shown. So the first of the 7 principles for this will be Umoja. Umoja, unity. We will strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Kujichagulia, self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, we shall collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our community together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and development of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kuumba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited.
Imani, faith. We shall believe with all our hearts in our Creator, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our necessary struggle.
Ashe. I would first like to say, Brother Damu, Sudi Ali, right on, good historical tribute. All praise is due to your benefactor, Brother Ty. We give thanks to see another day. We ask for smooth transition for those who did not see this day, and blessings for their family. We give thanks to Amun Ra for letting us all be together one more time. Let us be thankful to Amun Ra for choosing us to wake up this morning. We give thanks to those who gave a donation of money. We give thanks to those who gave their time and talent so that we may continue teaching our children, our people, so they will have a brighter future in the name of Amun Ra. May Amun Ra be pleasing with our words, our donation, and witness, and accept our actions today and forevermore. I say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mama Angina. Thank you, Baba Ustadi. And thank you, everybody in the congregation, those who gave, whether it be your time or your talent. All is appreciated, needed to build this community. Well, we have now come to the part that you have all been waiting for, the message. And today we have none other than our beautiful minister, Alicia. Minister Alicia, come on in and give us something that we could use.
Always give thanks, give thanks. Thank you, Mama Darnisha. And thank all of you guys for coming here today. I'll try to keep these off until I need them. A quick prayer. Most High, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Amen. So greetings to all. I'm gonna jump right in if you don't mind. And our freedom writings are going to be from several different places as usual. With me, I just love reading, and I just want everybody to kind of get the roundabout, so that you can kind of fully understand when I'm talking. So the Book of Prayers and Sacred Praises in Nehusia, page 18 and 19, we are going to be looking at number 5, where it says, O Amun-Ra, you shepherd who brings forth the flock in the morning, leading the hungry to the green pastures. As the shepherd leads his flock to green meadows, so do you, O Ra, lead the needy to food. For Ra is indeed a good shepherd, never idle, attending those who lean on him. O Ra, I love you, and I have filled my heart with you. And I want to stop right there with that one. And I want to move on to page 20, number 7, down at the last paragraph where it starts out, O Ra, all can turn to you and place their petitions before you. Your ears are open to hear them, and you grant what they desire. You are the creator who loves those in his image, the shepherd who is fond of his flock. And then we want to move to the books of wise instruction. And in the intro, it's on page 39. And in the intro, in the second paragraph, it says, the books of wise instruction are as sacred as any of the other books of the Husia, for the main focus is on Ma'at, and the moral and spiritual obligation each person has in preserving and practicing it in and for the community. Thus, each person, not just the Pharaoh, was urged to preserve and practice Ma'at, for he or she was judged by it and granted long life on earth, as well as eternal life in Amenta, paradise, or death and non-existence, based on this. And I also want to read in this book, which is Ma'at, the 11 Laws of God, by Ra Nepheramen, in which, in page 77, 78, it says, and I'm kind of jumping around on the 70 on his pages, but you'll get it. It says, love is giving, seeking nothing in return. Love is the emotion or executive force of our oneness with all. It is the emotional side of the experience of oneness. If I am one with you, then what I give to you, I have given to myself. The good I do for you, I have done for myself. The spiritual goal of Ma'at is to become a loving person. Just not loving this or that person, it is to develop a heart that is filled with love for all, as an emotional expression of the oneness with all. And then on page 83, at the bottom of that page, it says, yes, God is omnipotent, but will not force man to become his worldly vehicle. God has left that up to man to choose. And let it be understood now that it is only in joyfully choosing to become God's living temple on earth and in the spirit world that man can show his love for God. Ashe. Okay, so the title of today's message is Learning a New Dimension of God's Love. That's learning a new dimension of God's love. So y'all have been on a little bit of a journey with me since probably January or early 2020, sparing, a lot of the details of what going on. I'm talking about my father just passing in June 1st. When we all went to, or we all knew of Minister Imhotep's father passing, and when I got there to his services, I had gotten a phone call from my sister saying that they were taking my father to the ER. And it was since that time that my father was going in and out of the ER and the rehabilitation facilities and whatnot, until his last visit in the ER, when the doctors were just looking at it like, this is just going to keep happening, and just knew that it was about time for him to be, at home, and tried to keep him comfortable and be on hospice. So, so from the first time that I had, asked for everyone to pray, we'll say you guys have come in in a big way with that, and a lot of prayers went out, a lot of well wishes, and a lot of really positive vibes towards my family, and I thank you all for that. He did pass on the 1st, and we did have his funerary services on the 23rd, and then Friday we laid him to rest in National Cemetery. But I'm gonna be like Brother Malley and let you know, like, this is not doom and gloom. This is not gonna be just sadness and doom and gloom message. It has a good ending, so don't shut me down, shut off, or be like, oh no. But it has a good ending. It actually has a good middle and ending. But today I sit before you in a very grateful woman, a very blessed, abundant, and highly favored woman. Not only that my father was in my life for 45 years, but that he was who he was and taught me tremendously through his actions. He was a very quiet man, so he didn't say a lot, but he taught me tremendously through what he did do, how he until he couldn't get up no more, get down and get up off his knees, every day he was on his knees in prayer, physically on his knees in prayer, until one day it was very difficult for him to get up, and my mom was trying to tell him, stop getting down on your knees to pray. But also, I did receive a lot of his teachings, but it is not even that I want to talk about today. I'm very thankful for my dad, but of course I can talk 50 million years about how grateful and how beautiful it was. But I'm someone who, when I was much younger, physically and spiritually, I didn't always learn my lessons. I had to bump my head a few times before I would know, hey, wait a minute, I need to learn this lesson. Something's trying to tell me something, But as I got older, I started to kind of look at, the timeliness of me trying to learn the lesson and try to get the lesson, at least first time, second time, at least, not have to keep bumping my head and going through things over and over again for me to be able to learn my lesson. So I came to realize that I needed to pay attention to the lessons that this life experience is trying to teach me, because things don't just happen. just to have them happen. We are all here to learn. We're all here to teach. So during this process, I've learned a whole lot. A lot of mundane things, like how this particular process goes, because my family has been very blessed with our portion of health, and our immediate family has been very blessed that we have not had to. There's only 4 of us: me, my sister, my mom, and my dad. And this is the first time that we actually had to be in the process of someone passing and creating the funeral and all of those things. And so we've been abundantly blessed. But I do know that, you keep living, and everyone at some point will stand in the need of prayer. Some brothers and sisters, this was a deeply learned lesson that I had learned. And I pray that it will not take too long to try to convey the lesson to you. What I learned most was about God's love. I'm thankful to have time to show that my father that he was loved. A lot of times in life, after a person passes, we say, oh, I really wish I would have. And the last words were not good words, or, there's a bit of regret. But we were blessed even in his passing, because during the whole entire process, we were able to take care of my father. We were able to come to his aid and come to his rescue when he needed it. We were able to gather around my father. We were able to show him our love. My family is not one who does a lot of emotional things. We don't do a lot of huggy, kissy. We don't do those things. Like that's the way my family is. We don't walk around like, oh, I love you. That's not the way we get down, I guess, in our immediate family, that is. So we were able to be there for him. And I thank God for that. I'm very thankful for that. And the lesson that came for me for that was always show your love. When you feel as though that someone is a beautiful spirit to you, when you feel like you are showing, like you need to show love to someone, don't hold it in, don't hold it back. Let them know that you love them in whatever way your love language is, whether it is cooking, whether it is being there and spending time with that person, whether it is just saying, I really do love you, show your love. I also felt, and this is one of the bigger ones that I've learned, the lesson that I learned, was I felt that, going along in my life, I've always been someone in church. My parents were very spiritual people, and they were always in church. And so when we were born, of course, I always laugh and say, oh, I was born in church and I stayed in church because we would be those ones who would be there on Sunday. We would be there for Wednesday night Bible study. We would be there for, girls group. We would be there for Saturday choir. I had usher practice, following in my dad's footsteps was usher practice. And then back on Sunday. And then sometimes you would have 2 or 3 Sunday services, and we would go to all of them, much to me and my sister's chagrin, because we were like, we got to go to all the services. But that's how it was. That's how it was growing up. So, and when I was growing up, it wasn't that I didn't enjoy church. I did. I loved God. My favorite song was Jesus Loves Me. I remember telling my mom that when I was little. I might have been 5 or 6 at the time. But so growing up in that environment, I felt I knew what God's love felt like. Even as I grew, I just felt like, oh, the feeling that's within, and, spending time and communicating with the Most High, and not just that, learning that it's not just that heavenly feeling. It's like this, there's a rush sometimes, there's a tingling sometimes, there's a piece of joy sometimes, and it was mostly focused inward. And so I felt until this time and learning this lesson, that I knew what God's love felt like. Even in when I'm looking at nature, and I stop and see a beautiful bird, and I feel God's love, or any of his creatures. And just even sometimes when you're looking at the sky and the clouds make the sun, parts the clouds in such a beautiful way. I'm really thankful for that, and I feel like I am experiencing the love of the Most High. And the Most High is ever expansive and always teaching. And there are so many dimensions that we just haven't even tapped into and don't even know it. And so it's so exciting that even at this time, even this time of sadness, even in this time of grief, that I'm learning even more about God's love. And so I was learning that God's love is not just that heavenly feeling, but it's an outpouring of heart support from his children. During this time, Wose has not just lifted my family up through their prayers and their positivity during the time that he was sick, but also with your prayers, you were able to soften and beautify my father's passageway into ascension and transformation. And thus being able to create a level of peace around my entire family, being able to hold us up, the prayers of the people who are children of God. People were praying on my mother's side, in my mother's church, in our family, and at Wose. They were praying for our family, giving our family a space in the light, holding us up, showing that love to our family. Even though many of you guys haven't met my sister or my mother or my father, you have shown love to our family. And that's God's love through his children. It opened up that new dimension for me because I can see it in a different way. That it's not just God's love pouring down from the heavens, but as each person who loves God understands that we have to love each other and that we are there and lifting each other up and speaking to the Most High about each other and caring for each other, calling, saying, texting, sending beautiful flowers. Just like, hey, I just called to check on you. I'm sorry about your loss. All the different things that have been done. And even if it was not a direct communication with me, there was prayers that were going up. There was such beautiful thoughts and genuine love going out from the hearts of God's children towards another heart of God's child that was breaking at that moment. And so I don't have a long message today, but I just wanted to come to you guys to basically show you the thanks, give you the thanks, and also, God's love is like the beauty that's within it is the fact that as we take in the love of God, as we experience the love of God, we are able to show other people God's love through us. We are God's vehicle down here on this earth. When we open up our hearts to him and we live in the path and we walk the path of righteousness, when we take on the characteristics of the Most High, when we open our hearts for God to love us, and for the time that we take to read the scriptures, to understand those for ourselves and put them in place within our lives and become more peaceful and become more loving, we can show that love to each other. And what Ma'at teaches us is our interdependence. Ma'at teaches us reciprocity. And reciprocity isn't just material things. Reciprocity is, I see that you are me, and that you are me, and that I am you, and that we are not separate. We are only separate in manifestation. But because we are all children of God, we all have the Most High living within us. Everything that I do to you, I've done for myself. So that each one is reciprocal when we give to each other, when we love each other, so that you may feel that love. And when you're feeling that love, I feel that love too. When I'm showing you love and compassion and care, I feel that love, compassion, and care. And that's the interdependence and the oneness and the unity that the Most High wants to show us. That we are all one. That's how we were created, to all have the Spirit of the Most High. The Spirit of the Most High is in each and every one of us. There is no separation. So our love flows back and forth within each and every one of us. So the Most High is experiencing an abundance of an outpour of love, as I am experiencing an abundance and outpour of love. And so my heart can be grateful. And we didn't have to wallow in our sadness, because we had the high vibrations of Jose. We had the high vibrations of those people who were wishing us well, who were caring for us, who were making sure that our house was abundant with life, that was calling on us and making sure that we were okay. That was the high vibrations. That was keeping your vibrations high. When you know that someone who's experiencing death may have lower vibrations, and you hold them up in the light and you send them your positive vibrations, it helps to uplift their vibrations, so they don't have to lay in the bed with the covers over their face and not ever want to get up. My father was very important to me. Very, very important to me. Like, he was always there. He was that strength, and still is. I still remember me believing and thinking about how strong my father was. You know, when I was a little girl, he used to put his arms up like that, and he used to make a big muscle, and I used to climb on his arms and just swing on him. And that was like one of my favorite memories, because my dad was the strongest in the world, you know? And so being in that time, it could have went really bad. You know, it could have really went poorly, but through the love of God that you guys have shown our family, that you guys have shown me, my mother, my sister, and I's vibrations have stayed up. We have not wallowed in our sadness. We have not let ourselves succumb to grief, you know, because our minds can tell us, yeah, okay, we know that, okay, he's in a better place. Our minds can tell us this, that, and the other, but our hearts hurt for being without them. You know, our hearts can be sad. And sometimes our hearts and our emotions can thoroughly take over whatever else is going on in our being. And it can lower our vibrations to the point where grief can take over. And we know that those type of emotions, being so deep, can hurt our physical bodies. It can wreak havoc on our minds and our thoughts. And we are supposed to be meditating on those things that are good. But when our vibrations are low, a lot of times we end up meditating on those things that are too sad, that have us in such a grieving state that we have our low vibrations, and it's very difficult to get out. But when you have prayers, when you have high vibration people holding you in the light, when you have people surrounding you and lifting you up, you can't be low. You can't be low. Now, of course, there's bits of sadness. I went through so much highs and lows, but we never, all three of us, we have not gotten to a point of despair. And we all know, my mother has said so, my sister has said so, and I'm saying so right now. It is because of the prayers of the children of God. The ability to keep us in your thoughts and keep us in your prayers, even if it was only one passing thought, it counts. It counts and it helps. And I give thanks, and my mother gives thanks, and my sister gives thanks. Because Jose was there for us. And that's how we're supposed to be with each other, because guess what? We're family. If you are a child of God, if you claim yourself to be a child of God, if we all, I'll put it this way. If I say, I'm James' child, and my sister says, I'm James' child, guess what? We're sisters. Which means when I call you like a Sister Shamila or a Sister Fania, yeah, you're my sister. We are children of God. So we are all family and brothers and sisters and family. You have lifted me up. You have lifted up my family. And we are so blessed and thankful for everything that was done. Because the things that Will Say talks about are the things that Will Say lives. And that's the message for today. That it was a new dimension that I learned, a new dimension of God's love. That's not just something coming down from the heavens and the clouds opening up, but it's in the phone calls of the righteous. It's in the prayers of those who spend time in prayer, communicating with the Most High. It's in the little things that we do for each other that shows God's love here on earth. So when you guys hear the word namaste, sometimes like I see the God that's within you. As we look around and I'm scrolling through and I'm seeing your beautiful African faces, I'm saying, I see the God within you. And the God within you has held up the God within me. And we were able to keep our high vibrations. I had difficulties. Every time we pour a libation. I had to cut my camera off, but I had to just sit there. But you guys have held us up so much. And my family says thank you. And I say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Amen and Ashe.
Thank you, Minister Alicia. Beautiful message. And we still lift you up.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Ashe, ashe.
I'm glad we were of help.
Wow. Well, never to be disappointed when Minister Alicia comes to talk with us. Beautiful, beautiful words, Minister Alicia. We love you. So glad that the community has been able to be here for you and to uplift you. I also thank the community because likewise, as I've been going through some difficulties, I felt that same love. I love the way you described it as a new dimension of God's love, just something for us to recognize, something for us to be on the lookout, and the beauty of God's love being the ability to show it to others. Always, I knew that I would get some nuggets out of this, and that's one of the things that I love about what you say. You always say things in such a way where there's a couple of real simple points that you have to be Stevie Wonder not to see when you're when you are describing them. So the remembering that to uplift ourselves and others with our vibrations, and just the reminder of the importance of that, and that the Spirit of the Most High reminding us what we know, which is that the Spirit of the Most High is within us, and we have that ability to share it. So wonderful message. Happens to be one that applies to me just so perfectly as well. So I personally thank you for giving me some words that I needed to hear today, and I'm sure that there's probably a brother or sister besides me who is feeling the same way. So we appreciate you, we honor you, we thank you for continuing to be amongst our spiritual leadership team. All right, with that, Minister Imhotep, are you ready to see if anybody else would like to be a part of this family? Minister Imhotep?
We're extending the invitation to you today. Every time Alicia speaks, I feel uplifted. She knows how to do that. She's very, well, when I went to the service at St. Paul's, it was very evident that the love and respect that Minister Alicia's family had for her father, and her mother got up and spoke, and it was so profound. And afterwards, the pastor there said, when I go, I'd like for my mother, my wife, to say what brother James Lovelady said about him. It was just so powerful. And we put together something, St. Paul's is like the Allen Temple of Sacramento, if you can understand that in Bay Area terms. Those of you that are outside the Bay Area, it's a very large church, and actually one of our members works there. When you see Brother John Jackson, he's working there in the parking lot as security at St. Paul's. And we were able to put together something, but something happened in the, they had this great, audio visual place, and, they have everything set that you do, but something happened with the sound on what we had prepared, both things that were prepared. And I'd like to share that now as we extend the invitation to you today to join us and be a part of us. What Minister Alicia was talking about was the love, was being like the geese. Some of you may not know what I'm talking about. There's something called the lessons of geese. And one of the things that when a goose is sick or has to fall out of formation, two geese fly down with that goose and stay with them until they can't help them anymore. And that's what we were doing here, not only with Minister Alicia, but all our sisters and brothers. We want to make sure that even if you're all the way in Florida or Texas or Atlanta, that you can feel the spirit, the vibrations that we send out. And so as we prepare to extend the invitation to you today, we hope that someone will step up and say, yes, I've been thinking about it, I've been enjoying the part, but let us listen to this song as a tribute to James Anthony Lovelady.
how beautiful.
Sisters
How
and brothers, if you are, I hear my feedback. My wife has the service on. I'm hearing myself feedback. But if you want to come and be a part of us today, if you want to be officially a part, be official. Raise your hand right now. Extend your hand. We're extending our hand to you. And even though no one has come at this time, the message has been proclaimed in a magnificent and powerful way, and the way that Minister Alicia always does it. And I have to say, I'm always moved again by your messages, Alicia. And you have a way of touching everybody's heart and soul. Give thanks.
So, Minister Imhotep, do you have any announcements for us today?
God, I'm just full now. Okay, just give me a minute. You know, I'm feeling a little misty. You know,
we still need to do lift every voice.
With the whole thing, yeah. Lift every voice. It's coming. We're just all in the moment, you know. We're all in the moment right now. We're in the moment of a lot of things. And Brother Ty is right, though. We have one more part to our service, and that is our lift every voice and sing. Go ahead, Baba Jeff. Not hearing this song though.
Beautiful. Minister Imhotep, we're in your hands.
Now unto them who is able to lift us up faultlessly before the throne on high, may they empower us to be a people with one aim.
One aim.
One vision.
One vision.
Vision.
One faith.
one faith,
one destiny,
one destiny,
one love,
one love,
one heart,
one heart,
one God.
one God.
Let us call upon the name of that one God, as our ancestors and elders have done for countless generations, for time immemorial. Let us all say together, Amen. Oh boy, should we try that again? Will somebody give us our note? Is there a piano? Somebody can hit. Sudi, give us our note, man. That was awful. Come on, one more time. Just a note. All right, let's try that one. You are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth. God bless. Thank you, Damu.